Vital Hall Productions presents 2-point perspective windows.
Listen, y'all.
Yay, windows!
I got a public service announcement.
Acted, produced, and
I'd like to announce to the public.
Callie Fuller and Becca Burslam. Wow! Inspired by Peak. The need for pretty windows to be drawn pretty well, and Dunkers! Duh! Using this lovely book displayed by Miss Callie Fuller, who is also, again, acting, producing, and directing. And where would we be without these lovely, lovely charts? We would be drawing them over and over, pointlessly wasting time. Thank you, Callie. And Dunkers. Hello, today we are going to draw a 2-point perspective window using Dunkers' 585 grid. And we love Dunkers because of him, we don't have to keep drawing these grids over and over, wasting our time. Instead, he has a permanent grid with perfect 585 room going up using our measuring line to 8 feet, giving us a short room, floor to ceiling of 8 feet, which can be extended to typical 9 or 10 foot ceilings. But for the sake of today, we're going to be drawing very short 8 foot tall rooms. So, after perfectly laying out your Dunkers grid, use your straight edge to make sure the horizontal line is perfectly horizontal with your edge, and take your trap, lay it over. Please disregard the cheating of drawing in pencil beforehand. We wanted to make sure it was perfect for you. And attach your dots. Again, making sure it's straight. And using your handy dandy triangle, draw in your room. And after drawing in your room, from there on you will use the measuring line, which I now drew my 8 foot tall ceiling measuring line, and taking it back to any vanishing point, extending it horizontally. Our next step is going to be to block in our windows. Typical windows are 3 feet from the floor. So we're going to find our 3 feet height. So we're going to measure up. 1, 2, 3 feet. 3 feet windows off the floor so you can push furniture back and not block your view. Once we find that 3 feet, we're going to take a line back to the vanishing point and draw it in. Then, for simplicity's sake, we're going to make our windows 3 feet tall. So we're going to measure up again 3 feet from the 3 feet line. 1, 2, 3. We will then take that line, take it back to the vanishing point to find our height of the windows. Now, typical windows are going to be 6 inches deep because your wall is typically 6 inches deep. So to find our wall depth, we're going to have to bisect and dissect to find our 6 inches. 12 inches here, 6 inches here. We're going to take that back to our vanishing point, this direction. Now we have our 6 inches. We're going to dissect and bisect this one to find this 6 inches. And take that back. So now we have 6 inches back to this vanishing point. So we're going to find our measuring line once again to find the size of our windows, so then we can then find our depth. So we're going to bring them in 2 feet, 3 feet wide. We're going to make this 1 foot apart, and this window is once again 3 feet wide. Then we can go from these points here. Here's our line. Bring it back, send it up. Here's our line. Bring it back, send it up. and so forth. Now that we have the basic frame of the window and the depth of the wall, we're going to draw our details, including the trim. So, what we're going to do is, again, bisect and bisect this square, because we know that we're going to use the top of it to get the rest of the measurements from here down. So now we know this is 6 inches, therefore this is 3 inches, and we're going to have a 3-inch tall trim. So we're going to take that point, take it back to our vanishing line over there, and draw in the height of our trim. Now you can go ahead and connect both lines because we're drawing parallel windows. From there, we know that it has to come out 3 inches because that's what we're choosing to do, and that's what's about standard. So because the depth is going to come out from the floor, I'm going to go back down to our floor square. Again, it's already been dissected, but we're going to dissect it one more time so that we have 6 inches here and 3 inches here. That little mark tells us that we need to match it up here, and again, take it back to our vanishing point. And where that line hits the plane of the bottom of the trim, we are going to draw up. Here's the dot, draw up, and there's our vertical. And as one very lovely professor always tells us, all verticals are always vertical. So, using the same line that we just drew back to the vanishing point, which I did not draw in, but is there, you can go ahead and extend that line to both windows, noting where the height dots meet and the depth line meets at each window, so it's consistent throughout. There, for both windows, we have a 3-inch deep trim. Now that we have the 2 points of the height of our trim, top and bottom, we will take that point back to our vanishing point, which is literally vanishing but marked by a lovely little dot by a caterpillar. Take the top, the vanishing point, drawing your depth. Although it's little because it's at an angle, it's about 3 inches deep. From there, you can do what you did here, taking the length of the trim, taking the top point, matching the dot to the other side, back to the vanishing point, and drawing in the top of your trim. Now using your straight edge again. Simple part, all you do is connect, draw your height, again taking the depth back from where you did the first time, from the second point to the vanishing point, and you have your second depth of a window trim.